Girls. All right, we're here today to read chapters 3 and 4 of The Sky is Falling. And just to recap, when we left off, there were lights in the sky in Newtonburg, and everyone thought it was aliens. But Gabe, Caesar, and Laura were thinking whenever something strange or mysterious happens in Newtonburg, it tended to be the work of one man. He could be a little spacey, but he was definitely not an alien. And his name started with a B, and it would be Dr. Bunsen. So here we go, chapter 3. It's called the Bunsen Communicator 3000. So I'm predicting maybe that's a new invention of his. Is that what you were thinking? So, why, of course it was me. Dr. Bunsen scurried around his lab, collecting odds and ends while the data set watched. But what were the lights for? Gabe asked. The whole town thinks they're UFOs. From no to yes, the doctor disappeared into another room carrying a huge pile of supplies. Gabe looked at his friends. They shrugged. The data set had known Dr. Bunsen for a while now, but sometimes he could still be kind of confusing. Laura hopped up on a lab stool. Mind telling us what's up? Oh, yes, of course. The doctor emerged and dusted his hands on his lab coat. You see, I've invented a device that communicates with both light and radio waves. The Bunsen Communicator 3000. All right, so there it is. The kids followed Dr. Bunsen to a large control screen. It operated an enormous satellite dish attached to the mansion's roof. So there's your satellite dish. It goes on top of your house. The Bunsen Communicator 3000 has been sending the same message in light and radio waves into deep space for the past 24 hours, the doctor explained. But why? Caesar asked, chewing a granola bar. To communicate with aliens, my dear, always hungry boy. What? He wants to communicate with aliens? Suddenly, the timer went off in the other corner of the lab. Whoops! The doctor hurried away. Laura stepped closer to the controls. Wow, she breathed. Do you think it could actually work? What's the message saying? Gabe asked. Bunsen code, the doctor called from inside the closet. Or should I say, a guide for communicating in Bunsen code. He came out wearing a white zip-up suit. I developed a simple language based on tones and rhythms to project into space. So you mean like Morse code? Better, the doctor exclaimed. My hope is that the aliens can use it to communicate with us. The Bunsen Communicator 3000 will send that message into space for the next 10 years. 10 years, exclaimed the friends. But the lights freaked out the entire town in just one night, said Gabe. Oh, the doctor looked at the control screen. Well, I suppose I could adjust the machine to send the light portion only during the daytime, when it's not visible. Suddenly, the doctor picked up a crazy-looking helmet covered in wires. Before we look at this outfit, I want us to think about what that's saying about Dr. Bunsen. He's not very predictable, but when he found out people were freaked out, he didn't want to keep it that way. He tried to change it. So I think that tells me he is kind of caring about others because he cares about the kids and he cares about the town. So now back to this outfit. A crazy-looking helmet covered in wires. Now then, I'm afraid that I'm scheduled to begin yet another experiment in precisely, he looked at the timer. Now! Will you three be all right without me for the next few days? I guess so, said Caesar, but what happens if, say, something responds to your Bunsen Communicator 3000? He asked, reading the name on the control screen. Can we come get you? The doctor waved his hand. No need to worry. It would take months for an alien to learn the code. Years, perhaps. My new experiment will be quite complete by then. Okay, Gabe said, as long as you're sure. And I wrote in my book, I don't trust that. I know Dr. Bunsen means well, but I don't really trust anything he says. Do you? I don't. I see trouble coming. I'm predicting. So here we are, chapter 4, and the title is We Are Coming. 2 days later, the friends were doing homework in the treehouse after school. Laura had her radio tuned to the frequency of Dr. Bunsen's message. Bzz, 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 beep boop, beep boop. It turned out that was the buzzing and beeping they'd heard on Monday. The friends had been listening to it on repeat for so long that they didn't even notice it in the background anymore. I think it would be cool if aliens had 8 arms. Caesar doodled a sketch of an alien on his homework. Can you imagine the juggling skills? How about 10 legs, Gabe chimed in, with a propeller tail so it could run super fast. Or how about 2 brains, Caesar exclaimed. Gabe shook his head. Wouldn't the 2 brains compete with one another? That's why it would have 8 arms, Caesar said, to duke it out with itself. That would be kind of fun. What would you draw if you drew an alien? Caesar pretended to battle with himself like a double-brained alien. Laura and Gabe laughed. I think any alien we'd meet would have to be super intelligent, said Laura. It would have to be because it would have figured out the intergalactic space travel and Dr. Bunsen's message. I'd like to meet an alien, Gabe said thoughtfully, as long as it was friendly. Guys, imagine if aliens were watching us on Earth right now, just waiting for the right time to reach out and... Suddenly, Laura's radio began making high-pitched whines and squeaks again. Static filled from the speakers and then... Boop, boop! Bzz, 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 bzz. Slowly, the friends looked at the radio. Laura, did you do that? Gabe asked. No, said Laura. Maybe Dr. B changed the pattern, or maybe... Quickly, they grabbed Dr. B's Bunsen code manual to translate the message. He'd given them a copy to hold on to while he was busy with his other experiment. What does it say, Laura? Caesar asked. Can you make sense of those weird sounds? Hang on, said Laura. Okay. That first sound, the friends listened to the boop. The first sound, boop, means we. And the next part means are. And the last sound, Laura trailed off. What? Cried Gabe and Caesar. Laura stared at the page, her eyes wide. Coming, she said quietly. It means we are coming. Oh, snap. Who's sending the message we are coming? Who's coming? Dr. Bunsen's in his experiment. He's not available for days. Ah! I can't wait to see what happens next. All right, leave some comments on the Padlet. See you tomorrow.